Good morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. I know why you're here. Maybe you're pushing through a tough time. Maybe you're standing in the middle of a storm, unsure if you have the strength to make it through. Or maybe you just need that little reminder that you are capable of more than you think. So let's set one thing straight. You must get through this, and you will. When life throws challenges your way, the battle isn't just happening outside of you, it's happening inside your own mind. Your thoughts, beliefs, and self-talk will determine whether you push forward or give in. The truth is, your mind can be your greatest asset or your biggest enemy, and the choice is yours. Think about this. When elite athletes hit their physical limit, when their muscles are screaming and exhaustion threatens to take over, do you know what gets them through? Not their legs, not their lungs. It's their mindset. The moment they start to think, I can't do this, their body follows. But when they flip the script, when they say, I've got this, I can take one more step, they break through barriers they never thought possible. Now apply that to your life. When you're struggling, what is your mind telling you? Is it filling you with doubt, making you believe that you're not strong enough, smart enough, or capable enough? Or is it fueling you, reminding you that you've survived hard things before and that you're more resilient than you think? The problem is we tend to listen to our fears and doubts as if they are facts, but they aren't. They're just stories we tell ourselves. And the good news, you can rewrite those stories at any time. When you hear that little voice whispering, you can't do this, challenge it. Ask yourself, is that really true? Or is it just fear trying to stop me? More often than not, fear is a liar. And here's what I want you to remember. Your mind will believe whatever you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly focus on what you can't do, your brain will find reasons to prove you right. But if you decide to shift your mindset, if you tell yourself, I am strong, I am capable, I am built for this, your brain will work just as hard to make that your reality. So train your mind like you would train a muscle. Strengthen it with positive, empowering thoughts. When doubt creeps in, replace it with determination. When fear tries to hold you back, remind yourself that fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. You have everything you need to push through this. Your body can handle more than you think, but your mind has to be on board. So take control of your thoughts, feed your courage, and refuse to let negativity dictate your path. Because once your mind is in the right place, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you. One of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your goals isn't your lack of ability, resources, or time. It's the belief that you have to get everything just right before you even start. Perfectionism is a trap, a sneaky excuse that convinces you to hesitate, procrastinate, or even abandon your goals entirely because you're afraid of failing. But here's the truth. Waiting for perfection is just another way of standing still. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I'm ready. I'll go for it when I have everything figured out. I'll try once I'm better at it. And then days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, you're in the exact same place you started, except now you're carrying the regret of never trying. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who always get it right the first time. They're the ones who keep moving, even when things aren't perfect. They take messy action. They learn as they go. They fail, adjust, and try again. Progress is made by doing, not by waiting for the perfect moment, because that moment does not exist. If you look at any major breakthrough, whether in sports, business, art, or personal growth, you'll see one common thread: imperfection. Every great athlete, every brilliant innovator, every successful entrepreneur started with imperfect, unpolished attempts. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have a guarantee of success, but they had one thing: the courage to start anyway. So what if your first attempt isn't great? So what if you stumble? So what if it doesn't look the way you imagined right away? That's not failure. That's progress. Every step forward, no matter how small or imperfect, gets you closer to where you want to be. Every mistake teaches you something. Every challenge makes you stronger. The only way to truly fail is to not start at all. So stop waiting for perfection. Stop telling yourself that you need to be ready. You are ready now. Take the first step, however small. Do it scared, do it messy, do it uncertain, but just do it. Because in the end, success doesn't come to those who wait for perfection. It comes to those who take action, learn, and refuse to give up. There's a common myth that strength means doing everything on your own, that resilience is about facing challenges alone, and that asking for help is a sign of weakness. But the reality? No one achieves greatness alone. The strongest people aren't the ones who isolate themselves. They're the ones who know when to reach out, when to lean on others, and when to accept support. I think about the most incredible feats of endurance and achievement in history, whether it's an athlete winning a championship, an entrepreneur building a billion-dollar company, or an explorer pushing the limits of human potential. Behind every single success story, there's a team. Coaches, mentors, friends, partners, people who offered guidance, encouragement, and strength when things got tough. Because no matter how strong or determined you are, there will be moments when you need someone to remind you of your own power. Yet so many of us struggle with the idea of asking for help. We convince ourselves that we should be able to handle everything on our own, that admitting we need support is some kind of failure. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It means you understand that life is hard sometimes, that challenges are real, and that the road to success is never meant to be walked alone. Think back to a time when someone stepped in and supported you. Maybe they encouraged you when you were on the verge of giving up. Maybe they offered advice, a fresh perspective, or just a reminder that you weren't alone. Now imagine if you had shut them out, refused their help, or tried to carry the weight of everything by yourself. How much harder would it have been? How much longer would it have taken to move forward? There is nothing heroic about struggling in silence. There is nothing noble about refusing the hand that's reaching out to lift you up. True strength comes from knowing when to stand on your own and when to lean on those who want to see you succeed. And here's something even more powerful. Just as you need others, others need you. There's someone out there right now who is struggling in the same way you once did. Someone who needs your experience, your encouragement, your wisdom. When you accept help, you're not just benefiting yourself. You're also setting the stage to one day be that person for someone else. So don't make the mistake of thinking you have to prove yourself by going at it alone. Life is a team sport. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who remind you of your strength, and who stand beside you in both victories and struggles. And in return, be that person for someone else. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about how far you can go. It's about how far we can go together. There's a reason why some of the most powerful stories of success, resilience, and transformation come from people who have been through unimaginable hardships. It's because struggle shapes us in ways that comfort never can. When everything is easy, we don't grow. We don't learn what we're truly capable of. But when we're pushed to our limits, when we're knocked down, when we're forced to face challenges we never saw coming, that's when we discover our real strength. It's easy to look at tough times and think, why is this happening to me? But the real question is, what is this teaching me? Because every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback forces you to adapt. Every heartbreak makes you more compassionate. Every failure teaches you something about resilience, patience, or grit. Think about a time in your life when you were really struggling. Maybe you felt lost, broken, or ready to give up. Now think about who you became because of it. Maybe you developed a strength you never knew you had. Maybe you gained wisdom that helped you navigate life differently. Maybe you learned how to stand up for yourself, how to push through fear, how to rebuild from nothing. Whatever the lesson, you didn't come out of that moment the same person. You came out stronger. That's the thing about tough moments, that they strip away everything unnecessary and leave you with the raw, strongest version of yourself. They force you to dig deep, to find courage, to push beyond what you thought was possible. And while you wouldn't wish for those struggles, you can look back and realize that they were necessary for your growth. We tend to believe that pain is a sign that something is wrong, but pain is often a sign that something is changing. Growth is uncomfortable. Transformation is uncomfortable. But if you resist it, if you run from every tough moment, you rob yourself of the chance to become something greater. And here's the truth. The people who achieve the most in life, the ones who inspire us, who leave a mark on the world, are not the ones who had an easy path. They are the ones who endured, who kept going when it would have been easier to quit, who took their pain and used it as fuel. So, if you're in a tough season right now, I want you to remember this. It's shaping you. It's making you stronger, wiser, more resilient. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that this moment, this struggle, is what built the person you were always meant to become. When you're in the middle of something difficult, when exhaustion sets in, when obstacles feel endless, when progress seems painfully slow, it's easy to believe that you're nowhere near the finish line, that you still have so much further to go, that maybe, just maybe, it would be easier to quit. But here's the truth. You are always closer than you think. Pain has a way of distorting reality. It makes everything seem bigger, harder, and more overwhelming than it actually is. It convinces you that you're stuck, that you're not making progress, that all your effort is pointless. But if you could step outside of that moment, if you could see the full picture, you'd realize that you're right on the edge of a breakthrough. Think about a runner hitting the infamous wall during a marathon. Their body screams at them to stop. Their mind tells them they have nothing left to give. But science shows that in that moment, the moment they feel they're at their absolute limit, they still have more than 40% of their energy left. Their body is capable of convincing. It's their mind that needs convincing. And the same is true for you. Just when you think you have nothing left, when you feel like you're running on empty, you still have more in you. How many times in life have you felt like giving up, only to push forward a little longer and suddenly see everything fall into place? Maybe it was that job you thought you'd never get until you sent just one more application. Maybe it was that problem you thought you'd never solve until you tried just one more approach. Maybe it was that goal you thought was impossible until you gave it just one more shot. The finish line is never as far away as it seems. The problem is most people give up just before they reach it. They stop digging when they're inches from goal. They walk away from their dreams when success was right around the corner. They let fear and fatigue convince them that they've already lost, when in reality, they were just one step away. So what if, instead of giving in to exhaustion, you told yourself, one more step? What if, instead of quitting, you decided to push just a little further? What if you reminded yourself that the struggle you're feeling right now is not a sign to stop? It's a sign that you're almost there. Every challenge, every moment of doubt, every obstacle, it's all part of the journey. But the people who succeed are the ones who refuse to stop moving forward. No matter how slow, no matter how tired, no matter how impossible it seems, they keep going. And then one day they look up and realize that they've made it. So don't stop now. The finish line is closer than you think. Keep moving, keep fighting, keep believing in yourself. Because the moment you feel like quitting is usually the moment right before everything falls into place. So here's my challenge to you. Keep going. Don't give up just because it's hard. Get through it because it's worth it, and so are you. Thank you.